Hello, I'm Rico Cavella, and welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging, where in every episode, my guests and I, we strive to offer you proven tips and strategies that can greatly improve your overall health and well-being. So we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self so you can go out and make a bigger positive impact in the world. So we have a really interesting topic today. The name of this episode is Better Sex and Better Sexual Health, and we're going to talk about the company Firmtech's data-powered approach to sexual health, overall wellness, and increased pleasure. And our expert guest today is Dr. Elliot Justin. He's an MD, he's an author, he's an inventor and the CEO at Firmtech, which is the future of sexual health and wearables. He also has been an emergency medical specialist and healthcare technology consultant in erectile neuromodulation, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. And so, Dr. Elliot Justin, thanks so much for being here. Oh, I don't have any sound from you.
Is that
Oh,
better?
there you go.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
good. All
Apologize.
right. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for being here. This is really a great topic, and I really like the work that you're doing. It's so important, and it's something that's been really needed. So, I guess my first question is, I really like say the title of this, because it says your mission at Firmtech is to offer people better sex and better sexual health for everyone. So, my question is, how did you decide to make this your main focus?
Well, about 4 years ago, a professor of urology at the University of Utah challenged me the way of coming up with a way of counting the number of nocturnal erections. And I said, why? Why do we care? We all know about morning wood and we don't want dead wood, but what's the significance of nocturnal erections? And he told me that one is not enough, that a healthy man should have 3 to 4 per night, and that it's a leading indicator of a man's cardiovascular and sexual health. And I was ignorant of that, the way most doctors are.
Hmm.
But leading indicator is really powerful. It means it's predictive. In medicine, we treat associations. High blood pressure is associated with heart attack and stroke, but it's not predictive.
Hmm.
So if your blood pressure goes from 120 to 140, what does it really mean? Whereas if you're averaging 4 nocturnal erections per night and you go down to 2, or you average 3 and you're down to 1, you have an up to 50% chance of having a heart attack in the next 2 to 3 years. And that really took me aback because that's another vital sign. This would be a vital sign about every man's most
Hmm.
vital organ, and a lot more motivating than how many steps I took to take yesterday.
Wow. So in other words, that's a really good indicator. If you're not getting nocturnal erection, that means you probably got something going on with your cardiovascular system.
Correct. And currently, before we came up with this device, there was no way of testing this at home under real life circumstances.
Mhm.
You had to go to a sleep lab basically and put this device on called the Regiscan that looks like something Dr. Frankenstein would put in your penis. It's got rings and wires.
Uh,
The challenge was to come up with a way of people getting this data comfortably at home under real life circumstances. Now, this doctor, Hotaling, who's now my chief medical officer from the University of Utah, he's what I call, in colloquial terms, a cock ring virgin. Uh, I am not. I don't like to call them cock rings. I like to call them erection rings because they're doing something positive. It's not a novelty.
mhm.
Granted, you buy novelties at a sex toy store. What we're talking about is a consumer wellness medical device that will help men sustain their erections. So I am familiar with the toys. So my thought was, why limit ourselves to not just nocturnals? Let's also come up with a way of measuring sex erections as well too. Because what do men care more about? The ones they're having at night, or the ones they have when they're trying to have sex and when they're having sex?
Yeah. So what is the data showing? This is probably a pretty large problem.
Uh, I mean, by age 50, 50% of men report having erectile dysfunction.
Mhm.
By age 70, I'm 72, it's 70%. It's an enormous problem, and one that has been understudied because prior to our device, there was no way of really looking at this and
Mhm.
generating significant amount of data. So we have now documented with our technology almost 100,000 erections. We have the world's largest database of men's sexual health, and we've made several discoveries, but one really important discovery.
And what is that?
Well, that was that was a setup. That is that what the doctors have been treating as the number one cause of erectile dysfunction, what people think is the number one cause of erectile dysfunction is not. So And now you'll understand why I hate the word dysfunction. I want to get rid of it because it's shaming. It prevents men from seeking the help that they
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's not dysfunction for most men. So the doctors have grouped together two types of men, two types of problems that don't belong together. There are the men who can't attain an erection or struggle to attain an erection. That's dysfunction.
Hmm.
That's a problem. And those men need to see a cardiologist or urologist. But for most men, the problem is they get an erection and they lose it.
Hmm.
Doctors call it venous leak. I call it fading erection, aging. And we
Okay.
all get it. All men get this. So the data, the doctors were expecting that as men get older and report more erectile dysfunction, the firmness of their sex erections will go down. The
Hmm.
firmness of their nocturnal erections will go down, and the number of nocturnal erections will go down. And that's not what's happening. We see a little bit of tapering in the late 60s, early 70s. So I was looking at the data about a year and a half ago, thinking the data is telling me something. Why are men who are still getting rock hard, why are they reporting more dysfunction? And so the answer has to be on the other side of the circulation. So doctors are thinking, no fault to them. The academic urologists and andrologists who see the sickest people in their office, they see the men who can't attain an erection.
Hmm.
They project from them like the general population. So how does blood get into the penis? The heart's a pump. Okay, if you have congestive heart failure, angina, heart attacks, you're not going to get enough blood in your penis. And then the arteries, these pipes that come out of the heart that provide blood to the penis, they narrow down with hypertension, diabetes, atherosclerosis. That's a problem as well too. But if the man is still getting hard and then losing it, what the goal then should be, primary goal should be not to put more blood into the penis, but to keep the blood there.
Hmm.
Answer is erection rings. Ours, of
Hmm.
course. But any ring will do it. And this is unexpected. Rico, if you told me 4 years ago, hey, Dr. Justin, you're going to be promoting erection rings on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have said, like most men, no way. By the way, I don't need it. But it's not about need, it's about want. So
Yeah.
one of the jokes we have at like the American Urology Association conventions or the International Society of Sexual Medicine conventions is, how do you tell the difference between a gay doctor and a straight doctor? One question.
Yes.
The question is, do you use an erection ring? And the gay doctors are like, they'll like roll your eyes, like, hey, idiot, of course I do. Last night you got a better one. And the straight doctors will give the answer that I would have given 4 years ago, which is, well, I don't need that. We personalize it. And it's almost like Superman and Kryptonite. We're too proud to admit it, but it's
Uh,
not about need. Here are the key questions that every man must ask themselves. Men who have ED, men who don't have ED. One, do I want to rock harder?
hmm.
Two, do I want to last longer?
Hmm.
Three, do I want to have more intense orgasm? Do I want to be more confident, even if I have another extra drink? And five, do I want my partner to be more confident in my
Hmm.
in my
Hmm.
performance? And
Hmm.
every guy who enjoys sex and wants to please their partner would say yes to all five of those questions. So if
Yeah.
you say yes to that, open your mind up. Every man will benefit from two things. One, a ring will give you all of those things. Two, the data. That's a whole. I got into the data, but then I realized I could also improve men's performance. Every man over the age of 45 or 50 should want to know their data. Just the way you know your liver proteins, your electrocardiogram,
Hmm.
blood profile, your hemoglobin. Every man should want to know their sexual health data because we all want to enjoy a long life of lovemaking, and our sexual health data also reflects our cardiovascular health as well too.
So, so what has the data shown? So, why do men, like say, as we age, we're not able to sustain an erection as well as we could when we are younger? Why is
The
that?
main, well, for 10-15% of men, it has to do with problem with the heart or the arteries. But
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of men, in fact, for all men, it's the fact that the other part of our circulation, the venous side of our circulation, is getting weaker. As we get older, the smooth muscle around our veins doesn't pump blood back to our heart as well, and
Okay.
those also the small veins get stiff. So, Rico, you look younger than me. Maybe not. Maybe you are. Maybe you aren't.
No,
But
I'm actually older. I'm actually 83.
really, wow, you look fabulous, man.
Well,
I
thank
was
you.
But if we said people like most men, if you're over the age of 35, 40, you sit on a plane for 7 or 8 hours, your socks get tight, your rings get a little bit tight. It didn't
Yeah.
happen to you when 20 years old. And why is that? Because they have this weakening of smooth muscle and stiffening up our veins. In your penis, it means that the muscles that are holding blood in the penis get weaker with age, and our erections fade faster.
Oh, okay.
Every man can prove this to himself tonight. All you gotta do is get rock hard, whether you use your imagination, your partner, or porn. Get rock hard, and then nothing, and your erection will fade in 25 to 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Now get rock hard again and put a ring on it.
Okay.
Your erection is going to last a little bit over 2 minutes. Now get rock hard, put a ring on, and take tadalafil, the most commonly prescribed PD5 medication, erection pill, and you can stay rock hard for about a little bit over 3 minutes. So what's this telling all men? You don't have dysfunction. You have a problem, and the problem can be addressed with a ring and complemented by a pill. And whether that problem is you're old, it's just the way it is. Your erections fade, or you've had one drink too many, or you and your, there's some issue between you and your wife, or you're taking medications that interfere with your sexual performance, such as blood pressure medications or anti-anxiety medications that we doctors prescribe without warning people about this, about the sexual side effects of them. Because there are other medications. If you're one of these men who's taking a beta blocker for your blood pressure or is taking SRI antidepressant, there are other things that can deliver the same benefits to you that will not have an impact on your sexual performance. But with all those issues leading into erections leading faster as you get older, put a ring on it, and your performance will improve.
Okay. Well, I have a short message for our audience. When we come back, I want you to talk about your device. It's called the Tech Ring. How that works and what we can learn from that. So we'll be right back in about 60 seconds.
Wake up feeling exhausted, stiff, and sore? Do you feel like no matter how hard you try, those extra pounds won't budge, and the energy and vitality you once had are slipping further away? If this sounds like you, don't give up. Feeling tired and immobile isn't your destiny. It's not too late to take back your energy, your youthful shape, and feel great in your body again. Meet Rico Caveglia, America's healthy aging trainer, creator of the Aging Living Lifestyle and the Vitality for Life Wellness Program. At age 83, Rico has the moves and vitality of someone half his age and has a fitness age of just 35. For over 40 years, Rico has helped hundreds of people just like you regain their energy and vitality. That's agelessliving.lifestyle.com/coaching to learn more and book your free call with Rico to see if you or your parents are a good fit for this transformational program.
All right, we are back with Dr. Elliot Justin. And before we go on, I want to let our audience know that on your website, which we'll put all this information in the show description, myfirmtech.com, you have a free sexual health assessment that you can take there. So I highly recommend that you go to his website and take that sexual health assessment, and then you can also check out all of the products and all the information he has there. So Dr. Elliot, tell us about the device that you have there. It's called the Tech Ring. How it measures? Yes. Okay.
Sure. So this is the Tech Ring here. There's a pressure sensor here and a strain gauge here. It goes on differently than most erection rings. It doesn't go down the shaft. You drop your testicles in here. Wraps. It's easy. It opens and closes with a hook. It's easy to use, and it sits right there.
Okay.
So as the penis expands in girth, it pushes against the pressure sensor, pulls on the strain gauge, and gives the computer 2 data points, which you can interpret your firmness on a 1 to 10 scale. So with this information, men can measure the impact of diabetes, hypertension, atherosclerosis. Where do I stand? Rico, we are all on the road from fitness to dysfunction when it comes to our sexual health.
Yeah.
And we don't know where we are. We don't drive our car without a dashboard. So men can still be performing well in bed, but have only one nocturnal erection. Ideally, we want to identify problems using wearables before they become more obvious. We've had 2 men that we're aware of who've gotten cardiac catheterizations because of this device. The device is also being used to determine the right dosages. So let's just take the most common thing, PD5 medication, Viagra, Cialis, most common ones. Do you even need it? If you're having 3 or 4 nocturnal erections per night, the need is up here. Now, placebo effect is really powerful. I even play with placebo effect myself. If I went to my bathroom right now, we see a whole bunch of supplements. I think only 3 of them really work, but I take them anyway because So the PDE5 medications put more blood in, but they don't keep it there. But you can determine dosage. I know with my device that I take 5 Cialis every day. I get no more benefit if I take 10 or 20, but I wouldn't know that without the data.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, testosterone replacement therapy. If a man is having weak nocturnal erections and wants to improve his sexual performance, right now the doctors just dose you with testosterone based upon your age and like a subjective question like how's your libido. With the device, you can actually say, okay, I only have 1.5 nocturnal erections. I got patients who are doing this right now. I want to raise my nocturnal erections. Well, we then dose testosterone to achieve that particular outcome as opposed to guessing about something subjective. When it comes to improving a man's libido, what does libido mean to men? What does that word even mean? I'd like to make it objective. I ask men, how often establish a baseline? Let's get your nocturnal erection data, duration, firmness, count, and then ask, how often are you initiating sex right now and how often do you want to initiate sex? And then you can target improving nocturnal erections, improving the firmness of sex erections, but also this other changes in libido and desire. So the device is really valuable and transformational because when it comes to men's sexual health, you go to a doctor, they're just guessing, and they give pills without data. They'll prescribe testosterone without data other than the blood level. And I want to, the biohackers say, track it to hack it. Well, if you can't track it, you can't really hack it. You're just guessing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm still not clear how the device works.
Sure.
I notice on your website you have a device that looks like a cell phone that has all the data in there.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was showing how the device works on the penis.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an easy to use app. We're in the Google and Apple stores.
Okay.
And I can show you that too. There's our icon.
Okay.
Here.
But how's that connected to the device?
Bluetooth.
Oh, with Bluetooth? Oh, okay.
With Bluetooth, yeah. And I can show you what the data looks like in just one sec.
Okay.
So there we are. We're giving you the erectile fitness score, which is right there. It's on a 1 to 10 scale. A man needs to be a 6.5 in order to perform sexually. We tell you about your number of nocturnal erections, how hard they are, how long they last, number of your sex erections, how hard they are.
Right.
We have a database of 100,000 erections. Rico, I have to say, we only have 3 men that I'm aware of over 80, so you would be compared to a very small database. Yeah. I'm 72. I'd be comparing myself to about 1,000 men in the sort of 65 to 75 age range. I'll show you what a recording looks like. This would probably be like you, Rico, because you're good health. But this is me. So
that's pretty good. That's good.
Yeah. I'm having sex with my wife just before midnight, and I'm having 1, 2, 3 nocturnal erections and morning wood. So that's good. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Not just sexual health, but cardiovascular health. And by the way, Rico, I think your short video is really inspirational. But sexual health is a critical part of our overall health and reflects our overall health. You really can't perform well sexually if you're not in good condition. I mean, if you get, but a ring is a non-pharmacological solution to most men's erectile dysfunction. But it's embarrassing if after a few thrusts you get winded, you want to quit. So it's important to be in good cardiovascular health as well too.
Yeah, that's one of the things I always promote. I mean, in addition to all the other just health benefits, like you say, everybody wants to be sexually fit, and if you're not physically fit, you're not going to be sexually fit as well. Yeah, you're not going to.
Well, here's some of the benefits for older people. By older, I mean over the age of 45.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an orgasm a day, you can reduce your cortisol level, your stress hormone level, up to 50%. If you have, for this big study out of the UK, United Kingdom, showing that for men over the age of 70, if you have 2 to 3 orgasms a week versus only 2 or less a month, you decrease your risk of cardiac death by up to 50%. Well, that's an enormous impact. We doctors should be prescribing sex to people. And finally, people have sex regularly versus people have sex irregularly. And if they're in a committed relationship, the divorce rate is half. I mean, if the government really wants to improve the divorce rate, they should be recommending that people have more sex.
So what about prostate health? I read that. Yeah, if you're not having, I mean, but will you tell me how many orgasms
Sure,
should you have? Doesn't it help to clean out your
it
prostate?
does. Yeah, well, they recommendation is 2 to 3 orgasms a week.
Yeah. And so what does that actually do? It actually
Well,
does.
it helps. It prevents prostatic hypertrophy, the enlargement of the prostate. And it's associated with reduction in the risk of prostate cancer.
Yeah. So I wonder, how the monks and in ancient time they always say, well, you need to preserve your energy, and having too much orgasms is bad. It takes away your strength and your energy. So I wonder how well those monks are doing if they're if they are.
Well, they have there. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Way back when I was in medical school in the 70s, I did read a study showing that the incidence in French monasteries of incidence of prostate cancer was higher
Oh,
among
really?
monks who
Wow.
practice celibacy. But there are some leaders in the biohacking community who recommend celibacy, and who say that
I'll
they're
sell it this year.
who say that as a consequence, if after a month of abstinence or 2 months of abstinence, that their sexual performance improves. And my point to them is prove it, because with data and a wearable, everything can be proven. It can be made objective.
Yeah. Well, how does having an orgasm improve your cardiovascular health?
That's a great question. Well, one, I'll phrase it differently. It demonstrates good cardiovascular health because you can't have a good orgasm without good cardiovascular health.
Okay.
As the feedback, well, it reduces your cortisol. Having orgasms reduces your cortisol level. Having good orgasms probably does have some overall feedback on cardiovascular health. It's hard to. There's so many potential pathways for that. No one's really looked at it. So I'd answer with the reverse way in saying that when you have good sex, you're demonstrating that you have good cardiovascular health. It's also good for
Yeah.
your mental health. It's good for your mental health too.
And reduces stress as well. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've only got about 3 minutes to go here. So, what would you recommend for someone who's listening in our audience, and they're not sure? I mean, they're probably maybe not performing as well as they would like to, or maybe they're actually having some dysfunction. What would you recommend the first thing that they should really that they should do?
Well, the first thing to do is to get your data, because with your data, you can then determine whether your problem is psychological or whether your problem is physical. If you're having 3 to 4 nocturnal erections per night, and you're having about 100 minutes of nocturnal erection time, you actually your body's in good sexual health. So if you're not performing well, there's something going on, more likely in your relationship, or
Yeah,
it
yeah,
could be alcohol, it could be recreational drugs, could be something else. But there's some non-cardiovascular problem going on. On the other hand, if you're a man who's having 2.5 nocturnal erections or less, and you're having less than 100 plus minutes of nocturnal erection time, you probably have a cardiovascular urological problem, and you should see a doctor. You should get assessed, because you want to address that before you have 0 nocturnal erections, because then you have dead wood and it's game over. You'll need an implant. So get your data. I'm confident that what we're doing right now will become the standard of care. In the future, 45, 50 years of age, just the way you get your screening electrocardiogram, CT calcium score to assess your heart, low proteins, get your blood pressure checked. I'm confident that getting your erectile fitness score checked in the future will become the standard of care. Right now, the technology is available. Put a ring on it. Put a ring on it to get your data, and put a ring on it to improve your performance.
yeah. That's such good information. I really appreciate what you're offering. Why do you think it's taken so long for this to come about and people to?
I don't get it. My wife periodically, like once every couple of weeks, I'm busy with her. Will look at me. It's like, why this takes long? Because the technology we're using is old. This could have been done in certainly in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
This could have been done. I think one, there's a sort of a cultural inhibition about it, especially about men's sexuality,
Mhm.
and two, there's no money in it for the doctors. We'd like to say it's the culture, but when you go to a doctor, they're working off an electronic health record. And there's no questions in the electronic health record about sex. And that's wrong, because sex is
Yeah.
critical to our mental health and sex is critical to our cardiovascular health. If those questions were there and the doctors could make money by asking those questions and checking a box,
Yeah.
things would change dramatically.
Well, as you know, like as you just said, unfortunately, so many things in our society is it's all about the money, and it's all about the money instead of really what's really beneficial for everyone else. Well, Dr. Justin, that was so good. I really appreciate your work, and we're definitely going to recommend people go and first of all get their free sexual assessment, and then and check out all the possibilities what they can get on your website. So thank you very much for being here. And I always like to end all of my uh, interviews with Einstein's Einstein's saying is that knowledge without action is useless. It's just recreation, right? So please take action. And we always offer you some great information, some wisdom. So take action on it. Be sure and check out Dr. Justin's information. That we'll give all that information in the thing. So thanks everybody for being here. Tell your friends about the Fearless Aging TV show. All right. All right.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. That was really good. It goes by really fast, doesn't it?
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
that
Yeah.
that was really good. I have a couple of questions for you. First of
Sure.
all, we're also looking for sponsors for our show, and the thing I can tell you about it, we've been doing it for almost a year now, and we're gaining like 1,000 viewers every month or more. So we're up to over 16,000 viewers. And the best thing about it though is that, well, first of all, our audience is, I think we get the stats on who our audience is. It's basically people from 45 to 70, but the best thing is they stay for the whole time. They watch the whole show. So
Nice.
it's not just coming on and then we can also so we have those statistics. So if that's something you guys might be interested in,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
could send you some information.
Yes, if you could send that to Abigail at
Okay,
myfriendprint.com.
yeah, I'll definitely
She
do
takes
that.
care of it. Yeah, definitely.
And then the other thing myself, here's where I'm at. Uh, I haven't had a sexual partner for almost like 10 years now, and so I hadn't been that much concerned about it. But I do have uh, I'm not getting very good at erections anymore. I don't get really firm erections anymore. But I'm pretty sure my cardiovascular health is good. I'm still in good shape, fit, and I don't think I have any. Well, who knows? I don't know. So what do you think?
Well, I would get the tech ring. I'm happy to get one to you.
Oh,
I
that'd
would
be
get the
great.
tech
Oh,
get the
oh,
tech ring and figure out what your date is. So if
okay.
you'll contact Abby, she can arrange to get one. So if you're having,
Oh,
let's find out what's going on while you're sleeping. Let's find out how firm those erections are, how many you're having, and
yeah.
how long they last. Get
Okay.
your data. Otherwise, you're just guessing.
Yeah. That'd be great. I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Wow, that's so good. So let's see.
And then if we do a sponsorship, you can talk about your experience with it.
Well, that'd be perfect. That'd be really good. I think you know our audience is actually about 60 some percent women, but women I think are just as interested in this,
Yeah.
even maybe even more, maybe even more than the men. Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, we have again. I don't have access to anyone's data unless they give me permission to look at it because we're cybersecure HIPAA compliant. But I have I know there are at least 3 guys in their 80s using our technology. Um, one of whom has more sex than I have.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Um,
Yeah,
so let's get your data and
yeah,
find out.
that'd be great. I really appreciate that. Oh, really good. Okay, well, I'll get all that information to you, and yeah, let's stay in touch and see how we can keep supporting each other. We work together, and like I said, I'm gonna also what we're gonna do with for our sponsors. We'll have you come on, and do another interview and promote your stuff
Sure.
on a regular basis, and well, we can do a lot of things. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah.
Excellent. Go contact Abby and we'll
Okay.
get moving on it.
All right. Well, Elliot, so great to meet with you, and that
Likewise.
was a great interview. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. I'll talk to you
Okay.
soon.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.